They've lived their lives out in the public. And Steph becomes one of the greatest basketball players in the history of the game. His wife, Ayesha Curry, was known as the girl who was supposed to be a Hollywood actress whose career just didn't pan out. She was supposed to be a Disney star. That didn't happen. And a lot of things went left for her career. Now, I've heard everybody roasted. I mean, I didn't think this many people was jumping in on it. But man, did y'all ever jump in on this. Y'all got down. So now it's up to me to clarify all this situation. As these lovebirds fell in love, got married, and it should have been happily ever after, as it's been. They've turned themselves into a power couple. They have 4 children together. So what went wrong? To where Ayesha Curry is getting all this abuse. What she's doing is when she goes up there and says she didn't want to have kids, she never wanted to be married, what she meant was this is how she felt when she was younger. She never saw herself married and with kids. She saw herself as a career person. She said absolutely nothing wrong. But the general public hates Ayesha Curry because she doesn't want to be the typical wife. She doesn't want to be Savannah James. She don't want to sit there, smile, show up at red carpets, and basically do nothing that's out in the public. She never wanted to do that. She was an actress starting out. Now, most people give up their careers when they realize they have a successful husband. She don't want to do that. She doesn't want to become invisible. She wants to still matter. Now, she didn't say she felt forced into a family life and that she never wanted to have kids with, period. It didn't matter with Steph Curry or anything else, but they spin and put a twist on it, and they basically saying, you ungrateful bitch. In my Corey Holcomb voice. No, think about it. You unhappy. This shows you all women are the same. You know, Corey Holcomb and Kwame Brown are the worst to give you advice on this one. Because they damn sure gonna go through their emotional pain and what they done went through. And they ain't gonna be able to look at the other side. Yeah, they ain't gonna happen. KB and Corey Holcomb gonna tell you, cause she's a whore. She want a hoe. Cause she done seen all these other NBA players. She's like, man, I want to get down too. She gonna get down with Drake. I mean, look, this whole thing is a mess for Steph Curry. When they were dating, early in their relationships, she used to go on these live streams, like when they go on dates. They would go to the carnival and things like that, and Steph would be there and she would make inappropriate comments. And Steph would just shut down. Because here's the thing. There was nothing wrong in what she said. If you listen to it in its full context, if you look at the clip sounds crazy. She sounds like she's not appreciative. She sounds like she is all over the place, right? But mainly, there's something more important that you guys missed. Free Steph. And here's the thing. Most of y'all, looking at this and making comments are people who are not married or haven't been in relationships or got about 15 baby mamas. So you come in with a little bit of a slant on the situation. Me, I'm not married, but I can see things from her side. I know what she's going through. If you listen to it in context, you wouldn't even think the way you think about it now. Because what she was detailing was her life prior to being Mrs. Stephen Curry. That's what it was about. And she's like, wow, I never get to talk about my life before I met my husband. And she was sitting there and being honest, talking with someone who's a friend. She wasn't talking to a complete stranger. She was talking to someone who's a friend. Now, the thing about it is that it doesn't matter how much money you have. Insecurity is insecurity. If you have it in you, you have it in you. So she's going to have to go through therapy. She's going to have to do all these measures. Like when she came out and made that statement the first time on the red carpet talks about how she felt about guys not checking her out and all of these things. Women go through that when they have children. And they feel very insecure about the way they look, their bodies. They feel like their body's going through these changes. They don't feel attractive anymore. So that they want to be with somebody else is just like, wow, nobody's checking for me. You know, like, wow, maybe I'm not pretty anymore. So they start putting these things in their own head, and it leads to depression. Her problem is she has to learn not everything is for the public. It's therapeutic for you, but you don't have to have these sessions for the whole world to hear. Do you think if Savannah James was to sit there and have a candid interview about her life, even prior to LeBron James, what that would sound like? That would be the craziest thing you've ever heard in your life. That would blow up the internet. But this is why you don't see wives talking in the media, because it will all get spun, no matter how kindly you were trying to make it, it will get spun into what you see right now with Aisha. Now she looks like she's ungrateful. You should be grateful Steph Curry chose you. How dare you? So it looks bad on him more than anybody, right? Well, of course they're two different people. She was someone who was striving to have a career without Steph Curry. Okay? Both of them used to be in Canada. They both went to the same church. They're all believers. But The main factor is this. She loves Steph now. She loves her children. She loves being married. That's the part that y'all miss. She never said she didn't love that. Okay? Can't take things out of context and try to go with it. This is why Killer Mike apologized to Stephen Curry, because he couldn't believe that he would join into the circus. Her thing is, this should teach her, like, see, this is why other wives don't talk. Not because they're hiding something. They're just doing it because it's always going to get turned into a negative. And Steph is just going to back Aisha anyway because he just wants her to be happy. So whatever she does, he just backs it up. So now if she goes out and do any little thing now, it's going to get blown out of proportion. Look at her. She hanging out with Drake. She's doing this right in front of Steph. Steph, you got to get out. No, because she doesn't want to be a housewife. Okay? He married a career-driven woman. She wanted to have a career, but her career wasn't going anywhere. She'd have just been another girl that was in these movies, like a Disney kid, which she was in, that's gonna grow out of the position and grow out of a job. Then you're gonna be back living with your moms or taking jobs in California and Hollywood. Her parents told her, like, that boy likes you, meaning Steph. And they gave her the talk. Her parents gave her the talk and said, hey, you're going to lose that boy. Now, you know that boy crazy about you. And you're going to lose him. Because he finna go to college. So, you better try to seal him in right now while you back home. Because she had just moved back home from California. She was getting evicted because she couldn't pay the rent. All the shows she was on a pilot for all these Disney shows that didn't work. She was an extra. She thought it would be easy. She was on Easy Street. But it didn't happen. People have to recognize when you do things in the dark, not only does it come to light, it comes to the realization that you probably should have done something else a long time ago. You just chose not to do it. No, she ended up dating him right before he went to college. He was getting ready to go to Davidson and play ball. Like she said, Steph had dreams of being a high school basketball coach. He never thought he was gonna go to the NBA and make it. He was gonna try. But after he blew up at Davidson, that's why he didn't get to go to his parents' school. They didn't see Steph Curry being an undersized guard like he was, that he would stand out. Like if Steph didn't grow, like in his senior year, If he didn't grow those 2 extra inches, you probably don't see him in the NBA. Well, he'll be an undrafted player that came in the league. It took that playoff run with Davidson. That's who. That's what happened, you know. So yeah, well, Patty Mills and his squad put they put Steph out. They ended the Davidson run, but that Davidson run was special, and that was enough to get him drafted. The New York Knicks was supposed to get him, and he was dating Aisha throughout the entire process. And yeah, she stayed glued to him while he was in Davidson. She was still trying to hope she can get deals and all this stuff for roles, and they kept coming with extras, and there was no movie roles for her to get in Charlotte, so her acting career was stalled. So now I'm gonna be a chef. So she started taking cooking classes. Yeah. Women are not patient. The world isn't patient. It's just that when somebody who wasn't in love with you, like she never looked at Steph and said, oh my God, I gotta have Steph. Now, the church that they went to, all the church girls there, they loved Steph. Steph could have had any of those other white girls, but he loved Aisha. He really wanted that girl. But she was shy and wouldn't really talk. Plus, she had went on prom with somebody else. Yeah. They went it's a typical route. You know? It's a relationship. These things happen. So what she's feeling is trapped. Like she's lost who she is as a person. Like everything she has to do now is just with the kids. She don't get to do anything. She just didn't want to be a mom. She's explaining how she felt back then, in the early stages. It's that transition. Like, oh, she's married, all of a sudden she got pregnant faster than she thought she would ever get pregnant. Now she's having a baby. And now that they're having a baby, this whole process has turned into something that changing her life. And she was not happy and comfortable with just being the silent, quiet NBA wife when that was never her. She wanted to do something. So she started to do something. What did she do besides lean off of his name? Well, she went out and got her a cooking show. Sure, Steph's name got her a lot of contacts, but she still had to cook and use all the skills she learned from acting to pull off her performance. And she had a successful show. So people start disliking her, trying to tell people what's what. And as far as looks and all that, like, girl, you don't even look good. So she pissed a lot of black women off because she has no real identity with black women. So because she doesn't really identify with blacks, she grew up basically around all whites, just like Steph. They have a disconnect on things that they say. And she ended up pissing off black women. So they don't look at Ayesha Curry like that. Mostly all people that look up to Ayesha Curry are white women. Because that's who she pretty much predominantly, she hangs with. Just like Steph. So when they keep talking about powerful black couples and putting them up there, I'm just like, are you kidding me? Like, the only thing black about them is the tires on their car. They probably trying to change that. Well, no, she's trying to have an identity. She's just having fun. If you knew Ayesha Curry and what she was doing, y'all watching clips again. That was part of the show. Doesn't mean Ayesha Curry wants to leave Steph Curry for a male stripper. Y'all really be doing too much. But see, you gotta understand though, when she was with Steph didn't have the fame. Steph was about to be out the NBA. They didn't think he was gonna have a career. His career was a surprise to many. Coming out of Davidson and going to Golden State traded him to Milwaukee. The Bucks vetoed the trade because they looked at his ankle and said, this guy is going to have chronic ankle problems for the rest of his life, and we'll be stuck with him. Nah, we don't want him. So they vetoed the trade. So they had to redo the trade and trade Monte Ellis and keep Steph Curry, who they plan to get rid of in another trade. But the medical report showed them that they were going to be stuck with him. Then Steph came back off the injury, started playing lights out. So when you said married for the fame, what fame? There was no fame. It was just that, hey, her parents knew his dad got ties to the NBA. You know, this is where you probably need to go. Go to the league, do what you do. Hey, how you doing? Yeah, I know the weather changed so quick. Yeah, well, she had no real identity. No degree of self, you know, like self-worth. Her self-worth was watching everybody else and watching the parade go by. That was it. So for her, it was always going to be a struggle or a battle uphill. For us, it was going to be entirely different. So she had an option to marry somebody that has the possibility of going to the NBA, whom she was dating since college. And for him to stay faithful all those years, right? Because he genuinely knew that was the person he loved and wanted to be with. Hey. Steph Curry was the first NBA player to ever get the COVID-19 virus. And back then, that thing was wiping everybody out. The NBA covered it up. Let me repeat. The NBA covered it up. And made it seem as if Steph Curry had flu-like symptoms. And I told people what had happened. He had just came back from injury. He had a broken hand. He just came back, played like a couple of games. Then Steph was out. This is before they shut the league down. Steph was positive for it, and they never made the announcement. The NBA didn't want to send the whole world into a panic. And this one, people were dropping and didn't know too much. He had to be isolated from his entire family, keeping him in his house, quarantined. His mother, his father, Aisha, all of them are there for him. His family is like her family. Now, I've seen everybody blame Steph Curry's mom for Dale Curry. They split after all those years. Now, Dale Curry used to play for the Milwaukee Bucks. He used to hang out in Antioch at that time. One of his best friends used to hang out and party. His name was Steve. Steve was a woman beater. You know, his sons used to hang out with me a lot. Steve's sons. Scooter and Skeet. So me and Skeet used to hang out, and his younger brother, Little Scooter. Of course, those were his nicknames. Steve was a compulsive woman beater. He used to beat their mom whenever he come home cheating, and she'd ask him any questions. He would put his hands on. People would hear the screams and never go help. And I said, do you know what that's doing to the psyche of those two boys? They know everybody's hearing it, because the whole neighborhood's talking about it, but nobody's doing anything about it. His best friends with Dale Curry. They go drinking, hanging out, and banging white women while she's pregnant in Milwaukee. Steph Curry's wife. Now, I don't know if she's pregnant with Steph or she was pregnant with the daughter. Might have been the daughter at that time. So, while she's pregnant, he's out banging these blonde chicks that he's playing volleyball with. Now, he's an NBA player. He loves volleyball. He out there playing volleyball, running around. With Steve. Steve's cousin was also Trent Tucker. That played on the New York Knicks. So, he ran around with Steve. That's why he would come in, she would see him smelling like liquor, got lipstick all on him, coming in drunk, and she would be like, Dale, go to hell. She would see him like, go straight to hell. So she knew he was cheating. That's why we call him Dale Go to Hell Curry. Dale Go to Hell, because she would tell him that all the time. That's why he became Dale Go to Hell Curry. Complete womanizer. So all of this church and we're the believers, I don't know where they got all that from. Or when they joined, but they definitely wasn't that in Milwaukee. I'll tell you that. Because all he did was play volleyball and kick it in Milwaukee. Now, why would somebody like Dale be hanging out with a person like Steve? That's all I didn't understand. Why would that happen? How could that happen? Right? Why'd you want to hang out with somebody who beats their wife and try to keep her in constant fear? Well, the last thing The last time we seen him, my mother was pregnant with my sister, and him and his wife came to visit my mother and my stepfather. They were all on the military base at the time. Came on, had a guest pass. They're hanging out, they're having a good time, neighborly. So the wife is having a good time hanging out with him. Then out of nowhere, he just snapped and just started attacking her, hitting her and everything, right in my mother's house. You can't do that around my mother. My mother's pregnant too. She jumps up trying to grab him to pull him off of her. So my dad grabs her and told her, just stay out of it. He'll take care of it. Don't get involved. So he went and grabbed him. They called the MPs. The MPs had to come and take him out of there. They told him, like, you're not leaving with her. My mom's like, no, she's staying here with me. And that's my wife. She leaving with me. The MPs is like, you got a choice, homie. We gonna take you to military jail. This ain't like prison where they just throw you in a cell. We gonna beat the shit out of you and put you in the jail just for what you doing here. We would definitely put our hands on you. Now you could leave on your own right now, or we will be more than happy to put you in a military jail and beat the living hell out of you in there. JC, they keep talking about I don't know nothing. That's the funny part, right? I don't know anything, but yet I know everything. So Steve left and he went to go hang out with Dale Curry. Called up Dale. Went from Antioch to Milwaukee. In case you don't know, Antioch, Illinois is the last city before you get to Kenosha, Wisconsin. Milwaukee's like 20 minutes away. So he in Milwaukee. Just like that. Snap of a finger. So while he's out there, they hanging out, playing volleyball and drinking. Partying it up with the white girl. That's what he do. Him and Dale. How would I know all Dale Curry business? Because Steve comes back and brags about everything he do. Yeah, me and my boy Dale, boy, you should have seen this tall blonde. That's all they would do. Two brothers chasing down 6 foot tall blonde white girl. Now, it's not like I'm telling on Dale Curry, because his wife knew all about it. But what could she do? She got 2 kids, she's pregnant with a 3rd, and she's an NBA wife. What could she do? Divorce him? For what? She's gonna need help raising these kids. So her and Dale probably was just separated the whole time. And she just was living her life through her kid. And Dale was out doing him the whole time. Y'all just didn't know it. And I'm telling you, it was like this when she was pregnant with the daughter. So the realities of the situation never change. The more you think they do, they remain the same. So what ended up happening to Steve, he ended up moving. The, the wife actually got the strength to separate from them. Hey, how you doing? I'm all right. So she got the strength to say, I'm not going to deal with this cheating and abuse, and she just loved him. So kudos to her for getting away from Steve. Well, Steve was on the narcotic. He was doing a lot of powder at that time. So, you think Steph didn't know? You think Seth didn't know that, hey, Daddy's a player. Papa was a player. Papa loved the ladies. Never got enough of pretty white brown running round town. Don't tell your mother what's going down. They'll go to hell, Curry. I'm quite sure he figured it out. Because believe me, Steve wasn't the only person Dale was hanging with. Quite sure when Steve went there, it didn't matter to Dale. So, needless to say, they didn't stay in Milwaukee long. And Dale was near the end of his career. But you think he wasn't doing that in every town? I didn't know Charlotte Hornets Dale. I knew Milwaukee Dale. Now, whatever church they joined and became the believers, to see them both show up at that event and they both are dating their friends' wives and spouses. Both of them are now swingers. And you looking at them like, what? Yep. Because Dale was a horn dog. So you see Dale with that guy's ex-wife, and now you see him, she's dating him, the husband. And you're like, wait a minute. Weren't they best friends? Weren't they all part of the church of the believers? How don't they get to this? Because just because it says believers, don't mean it's a church that you think. Believing in what? That's what you need to be asking. Because if you was truly a believer, it wouldn't be so easy for you to be corrupted. Unless the place you came from was full of corruption. Exactly. No one's going to tell you the truth. Some people knew what it was, other people did not. Some people accepted the terms of the deals, others did not. It's the nature of the beast. So when Aisha had to grow up really fast, her mom had to sit her down and have a talk and say, look, the boy likes you. He's taking you out on a date tonight. You need to seal this deal. You need to go ahead and get serious with this boy. This boy might be going to the NBA. And I don't want to see you here stuck in the house, because that boy is going to go on to do some big things. Like the parents knew. See, mom going to put you up on game and say, hey, look, I'm worried about you out here. I know you want to be Miss Independent, but you ain't finna be Miss Independent in his house running up the bills, watching BET. It ain't finna happen. So I think Seth never talked too. There's somebody else that if you ever met, you ain't gonna get probably 3 words out of Seth Curry. I swear to God you won't. He was the big brother and Steph was the little brother. Seth is to take charge. He was the one that was more like Dale in the sense of control. Yeah, he takes control. That's it. He shuts stuff down. He was the enforcer. Sister got a boyfriend coming over. Oh, really? Who? Seth won't even talk. You gotta like get him to conversate. But it's funny though, because you see him on TV, you would think Seth Curry talk all the time. No, Steph was the chatterbox. Oh, Doc Rivers' daughter. Oh yeah, Paul George cheated on her. He was dating Doc Rivers' daughter, and he cheated on her. Next thing you know, Doc was his coach. And Doc was like, oh man, that's some old stuff. I don't get involved in all that. Here to coach a team. You know, Doc don't care about none of that. Doc's job is the coach. And that's what he want to do. Everything changed. When you get somebody who's not accustomed, you know, the young couples, y'all, they know why they cheated. But he did. with some IG chick. And because of it, she was heartbroken. So she wasn't even thinking about dating another NBA player. But next thing you know, she hooks up with Seth Curry. Boom. That ended up working out. Well, no, it's just that when she was on Twitter talking about, ew, I was at the car wash and some guy was checking me out. Ayesha Curry. Then she did that interview after she had the baby and everything, and she's not feeling attractive. It was like, I just feel like no one's checking for me. It's like they're not looking. They know you're married. It's not like they're not looking. And it's like, we know how you feel, but to make a public declaration of that, needing affirmation from people that don't know you, is a problem. That's a problem because you create more attention for Steph. Now Steph come around, everybody be like, man, I feel sorry for you, dude. You know, and he's tired of hearing it. Like every time somebody interview him or ask him, he's got to make a statement about his wife. It's like, okay, you got that out your system? Yeah. Now, anything you need to share, please do it with the therapist. Jeez. Like she said, she hated the NBA life. Like, oh, I hated the lifestyle. Like, she didn't mind just having all the money, but now, you know, all this fame, we can't go anywhere now. You know, it sounds superficial, but this is the life you're living now. Your lifestyle is forced to be alienated from the rest of the world, something you did not want to do. But it's the realities of where you live. And living over there in Atherton, while Steph is trying to be, you know, political and liberal and make a stand for the people and go up against Trump. And now we're going to get the affordable housing for the people. There was plenty of instances they moved in that community. So when you move in that community, you have to understand that it's pretty much gated, it's shielded, and the same people you were talking against, they all live there. So Now, yeah, well, society is a mixed bag, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Ayesha Curry is Jada Pinkett. No, hell no. She was never Jada Pinkett. Jada Pinkett was a firecracker that was off the leash. Aisha was a shy church girl who was never allowed to do anything. Her parents would put her on lock. She was the rebellious one who wanted to do things, but her parents kept her locked under lock and key, so she couldn't do all these activities. But it was funny though, how Trump was going. I mean, Steph Curry stuck up about affordable housing and all this, and then they was like, the affordable housing was going to be near his house. All of a sudden, he didn't want it there no more. He went to the town meeting so they could block it. Wait a minute, you fought for the affordable housing. Now that they finna put it near your house, you said that's too close. So you was like, I don't care about them getting affordable housing as long as they keep the niggers away from me. Okay, Steph, we get it. Yeah, they play both ways. So you made a public declaration, and when they said, okay, here's what you want, here you go, affordable housing. Hey, wait a minute, not by me though. Too late. Aisha's the baby, I believe. She's got a brother and I believe 2 sisters. Yeah, well, they'll figure it out. Oh yeah. I mean, what you expect them to do? That's my whole approach. What do you expect them to do? What's the route they should take then? If that's the case. Steph should divorce her and lose all his money. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Steph helps his wife. They start selling products together, the whole nine. All right, and it makes them look weak. She loves these photo shoots, everything. So as you can see, this is more about she loves her life now. It's just that there was a time where this was not working for her, meaning that for what she's doing, just she's not going to be the stay-at-home mom. And it's actually helped the brand because if you'd have left this up to Steph, would have just been playing ball. That's it. He's just on a hoop. So he's doing all of this for his wife because the love of his wife. That's why he's doing it. He wants to see her happy. He wants to see her do things. So she's done nothing wrong. I don't see anything she's done wrong. So anyway, don't forget to sign up to become a member here. You can go to the Patreon, which is Karceno for Life, and I'm gonna holler at y'all later.